Welcome to the Deep Dive by Outlier, where we uncover the market's hidden trends and give you the edge you need. Head on over to ovtlyr.com right now to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk today. Now let's jump right in.
All right, get ready because we're about to jump into some really interesting stuff. China's Singles Day. Their huge shopping event, like Black Friday, just finished.
Yes.
And the results are really making people think.
Definitely getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, especially considering how China's economy is doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big deal with everything going on.
So you sent us a bunch of articles about China's economy.
Right.
And specifically about this Singles Day.
Yeah.
And what's so interesting is that even with everyone talking about a slowing economy, Singles Day seems to have actually done better than a lot of people thought it would.
That's true.
So what's the real story here?
Well, it's not as simple as it might seem.
Okay.
It's true that a lot of brands saw a boost in sales,
Yeah.
but the overall picture is still a bit confusing.
Okay, so let's break this down a bit.
Okay.
One thing that really stood out to me was that the big online stores like Alibaba and JD.com haven't said anything about their total sales numbers, what they call GMV,
Yeah.
for the third year in a row.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So what's going on with that?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
GMV, gross merchandise value,
Yeah.
is basically the total value of all the stuff sold on their platforms
Okay.
during the event.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're not sharing that information
Right.
probably means that they're being cautious.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of uncertainty in retail right now.
Okay, so they're not really giving much away.
Right.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
we're hearing them say vague things
Yeah.
like robust growth or record number of active buyers. So it's kind of like mixed messages, don't you think?
It definitely feels that way. It seems like they want to be positive,
Yeah.
but they don't want to show all their cards.
Right.
And that makes it hard to really know how healthy the retail sector is.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to have it both ways.
Exactly.
So one article quoted Chris Reiterman,
Okay.
the CEO of Ogilvy APAC, and he said that a lot of brands are probably feeling relieved.
Oh, okay.
Like they did better than they thought they would.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a record-breaking year.
Right.
So they're relieved, but it's not like the best year ever.
Right. Exactly.
Seems like that's kind of the general feeling.
Yeah, I think that's the consensus.
Yeah.
Many companies are still making money in China.
Yeah.
They're just not seeing that huge growth they might have seen a few years ago.
Yeah.
The market is just maturing and there's more competition now. There are definitely challenges,
Yeah.
but we're seeing innovation,
Right.
adaptation, and growth.
It's a system that's always in motion,
Yeah, always changing.
which makes it both fascinating
It's definitely.
and unpredictable.
Exactly.
It's like watching a game with really high stakes.
Uh-huh.
We see the players,
Yeah.
the strategies,
Mm-hmm. The surprises.
but we don't know how it's going to end.
It's true. The final outcome is still unknown.
And that's why it's important to stay informed.
Yeah.
Analyze the trends, right?
Question what we think we know.
So the big questions are,
Yeah.
will this recent spending increase turn into long-term growth?
That's one of them.
Or is it just a temporary thing?
Right.
Part of a bigger economic slowdown?
Those are the questions we have to keep asking.
The questions that keep economists up at night.
Exactly.
So for our listeners
Yeah.
who maybe aren't economists,
Right.
but want to know what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
what should they be watching out for in the coming months?
I would say pay attention to a few things.
Correct.
First, the official data from companies like Alibaba and JD.com.
Okay.
Those numbers will give us a better idea of how Singles Day really went.
So those are important.
Yeah, very important.
Okay.
Also, anything the Chinese government says or does,
Okay.
especially about measures to help the economy.
Right.
And lastly, keep an eye on consumer trends
Yeah.
and how brands are doing.
So like, are local brands still gaining popularity?
Exactly.
Or consumers still looking for good value?
Those kinds of things.
Those are all good clues.
Yeah, they can help us understand
Yeah.
where the Chinese economy might be headed.
It sounds like we have a lot to keep track of.
We do, but it's exciting.
It has been fascinating to break down this complex issue with you.
It's always a pleasure to discuss these topics.
And who knows, maybe next year we'll be back
Yeah.
talking about a whole new chapter
Right. Who knows what will happen?
in the story of China's economy.
It's a story that keeps unfolding.
If there's one thing we've learned,
Yeah,
it's that this story is far from over.
that's for sure.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks so much for deep diving with us today. Head on over to outlier.com. That's ovtlyr.com to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk today. And we'll see you next time.